All right, that's good. That's good.
See.
All right. Good morning, co-banker George. It's was very nice Monday morning. I hope you had a nice weekend. It has been 2 weeks since the last time I saw you guys. Last week I went to the top two award ceremony with the co-bank home office. I'm glad that I'm back. The weather was so hot, and it's like 111 degrees. And the people out there say that, hey, if you get stuck in under the sun for half an hour, you'll be in trouble with the water. So but anyway, they took me to the desert and in the Hummer. It's pretty rocky and up in the terrain of the mountains. Oh my God, that was quite an experience, And I am so glad when I went back to the hotel safe and sound. But nevertheless, it was a very interesting meeting. I learned a lot about the commercial real estate. And hopefully I can bring it back something to share with the agent. But all in all, the commercial real estate is kind of tricky nowadays, even with all the experience brokerage. They are saying that nowadays, the buyers and sellers are kind of sitting on the sideline because they don't know about the uncertainty about the interest rate and how they're going to come in the refinancing when the loans get matures. So it's interesting, but there are still deals out there, and especially for the office buildings. There's a lot of office buildings that are selling at a bottom price, And if you have a lot of cash, a lot of money, or maybe if you are good enough to get some syndication together, you can get some very good deals. Like last time they had a foreclosure sale in Pasadena, one of the trophy building, office building, and they're selling it at the half price. So if you have clients that has that kind of cloud in this cash flow, hey, this is a good time to persuade them to get into or buy some good commercial real estate. Okay, so with that, I hope that you are enjoying the week so far, and we have our very honored to have Angie Tang from First American Title to teach us or to tell us about remote notarization, wire fraud, and all those interesting things today. So I'm looking forward to it. But before that, I would like to introduce the others affiliates first. So let's go with John. John, you're the first one. You have to unmute yourself, John.
Good morning, everyone. John Wax with SNAP NHD, Natural Hazard Disclosure Reports. I just want to let you know, now that all the kids are out of school, they're going to be they're going to be going all over the place or whatnot. It's a great time to visit them, door knock, pass out your materials, touch your sphere of influence, and let them know you're there to help them. As I am to help you, 30 years of experience in the business, I can answer all your questions. And order your SNAP NHD reports at time of listing, or even better yet, order them at when you go on a listing appointment. Have that valuable data with you, because you never know what questions they're going to ask, and you'll be prepared to answer those. And my biggest tip to you, unfortunately, I don't have it on, always wear your badges, have cards, pens, appropriate documents with you, because you never know where the next deal is coming from. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your business. And thank you for Peter allowing us to be on these calls.
Thank you, John. Appreciate that. And then we'll come to Nancy. Nancy, good morning. How are you?
Good morning. Happy Monday. Happy week. I think a lot of people I have some clients telling me they're looking for properties. They show properties all the way from here to Temecula. So there's a lot of buyers out there. It's just that you have to get the listings. There's inventory is slow. So if you want to really know how to get listing, you need some help, give me a call. I'm here to help you. Nancy Chan, Lawyer's Title. Thank you so much. Thank you, Peter. Thank you, Michelle.
Thank you, Nancy. I have to point out that Nancy is kind enough to offer one-on-one tutoring on marketing. In other words, so getting the listings and getting the get exposures to your properties and stuff like that, to the marketing. So it's a very valuable service. So don't be shy, and if you need some help in this area, Nancy is a good person to call. Right, Nancy? You still on that? Well, very good. Thank you very much.
Yes.
Appreciate that very much. All right. So Nicole, good morning. How are you today?
Great. Good morning. Happy to be here with all of you this Monday morning, and wishing all the fathers this next Saturday, all the superheroes, fantastic Father's Day. Marketing. We do have a lot of tools and tips to help you guys grow your business, and we are rolling out some new features within our Fidelity agent app. If you haven't downloaded or checked out the app lately, it's a perfect time, especially right now, to jumpstart your marketing, as summer is just around the corner. Next week, we start the first day of summer. So it's a perfect time to continue to prospect and get those listings, because there are sellers out there. You just got to get out there and put the work in, and we're here to help. Have a fantastic day. Nicole and Yvonne, Fidelity National Title. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Nicole. And your company has a very nice program app. It's called the Ignite RE, right?
No, we have Fidelity, the Fidelity agent app that does the seller buyer calculations, and then our
Okay,
Fidelity
I'm sorry.
Passport.
Sorry,
Peter, that's our app.
Ignite is Angie. I'm sorry.
Peter, yeah.
Terrible mistake. Sorry about that.
It's okay. At least you remember, you know. We all have powerful
Yeah, you
tools
also
to
have
help the agent.
different apps. Yeah, different apps, different service. But yeah, I'm sure your app is very good too. Okay, thank you very much, Nicole. Appreciate that very much. Next is Keaton. Keaton, how are you today?
I can't complain, Peter. Thanks for having me. Right now, property insurance is still a scare. It's causing a lot of stress on business owners. Recently, I've been working with a lot of board of directors for HOAs. I see a lot of similar problems. They're having to either, pay a substantial increase in premiums or update their electrical panels, but that's also costing a lot of money. And I've been working through solutions with a number of boards now. And I feel awful for them because the amount of money they have to spend to update their properties to make sure that they're, approved by these insurance carriers, or else they're going to be paying ridiculous rates. So if you know a board member or are connected with any HOAs that are having similar issues, I've been able to help out a couple so far, and you'd be doing them a favor. And a lot of times, you don't get referrals until you give them. So if you do someone else a favor, it's psychology that they'll want to help you back. So if you can help, point a board member or apartment owner in the right direction, maybe that'll pay dividends in the future. So I know I can help. And everyone else, have a great week. Father's Day coming up. I'm excited.
Very good. Thank you, Keaton. And a lot of those big players living in California. And right now, how many still are in the state?
So
the good ones.
the big players, the captive markets, I know Farmers is still here. Nationwide is still here. Progressive is still here. AAA is still here. But they're not leaving the state, but they're still halting their writing of new business because they don't want to take on additional risk. They're, I wouldn't say happy with their current portfolio size, so they're still sending out non-renewals to shed some of that risk. But it's still ugly, and this is there's not much competition for carriers right now who are writing property insurance, which is driving the premiums up because no one else wants to write it. The rates are inadequate, and no one's making money on it, so they have to charge a lot more, which is unfortunate for everyone here.
Now, a lot of out of the state insurance company are coming here to fill the void. But how can you tell whether they are credible or good enough insurance for your purposes?
So it all depends really on the coverage and then their financial credit rating. We have a website that we use. You type in the insurance company name and it gives us their credit rating. We try and write policies with companies that have an A- or better. But sometimes the only companies offering insurance are B+ or lower, and there's a risk that that company becomes insolvent, right? If they are dealing with a bunch of claims, they don't have a ton of financial strength to weather that storm. So that's the risk you face there. But other than that, I review the coverages to make sure that you have proper coverages in place and there's no holes in it where if you had a claim, the last thing you'd want is, oh, that's not actually covered on your policy. So that, we can do that part, but the part we also look at is the financial strength of the company.
Okay. Thank you very much, Keaton.
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, let's see. The next is Unita. Unita, how are you today?
Good morning, Peter. Good morning, everyone. I apologize I'm not in the camera because I just had a tooth surgery, so I swollen. But I just want to wish everybody a happy day, happy Monday. Unita Wu from Home Warranty of America, the 13 months home warranty. If you do need any home warranty, please reach out to me. I would love to earn your business and let me know how can I be able to help you. Please don't let the home warranty not be purchased because we noticed like somebody had a water heater leak after like a week later, and then they found out their home warranty did not purchase, and they end up slapping the agent actually the receipt. So if you are not purchasing the home warranty, please make sure you let the buyers know and have them waive on it, okay? So that nobody saying that you're not actually promoting or letting them know there is a home warranty that could be purchased for the buyers. I'm here to help you anytime. I do speak English, Chinese, Mandarin, and Indonesian. And thank you again for continued support. Really appreciate you guys. Happy Father's Day.
Thank you, Unita. Thank you very much. You have a nice day too. All right. Now, I think that's all the affiliates other than the NG Tang. If there's anyone that I missed, please let me know right now before we let NG be on the stage. So I guess not. So NG, go right ahead.
Okay, thank you. Can everybody see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, great. Cool. Okay, hi guys, I'm Angie Tang, First American Title. I'm going to show you a few things on Ron today because Ron is our new system that we've actually integrated into First American Title. So it's really exciting. I apologize for my voice. I feel like I'm getting a little bit of a sore throat. So it sounds a little funny, but let's move forward. So a few things about me, what I stand for, family, growth, love. I don't know why my screen's not showing the entire thing. Hold on, let me just move this out of the way. Can you see it this way better? Is this okay?
Yeah, that's okay.
Okay. So love, compassion, faith, and harmony. So a lot of things, where you stem from as a person always trickles into how you work. And so I saw this on a picture one day when I was in Paso Robles, and it said all these things on it. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is so me. I said, you have to be kind, you have to work hard, you have to stay humble, smile often, go explore, stay loyal, keep honest, live simply, be thankful. These are all the things that I like to think about as I go on my daily work life and my regular life. But this is something that we should all encompass, things that keep us going, the reason why we keep exploring, the reason why we keep on loving. Because if you don't stand for something, then you will fall for anything, and nobody wants to fall for everything because then you have nothing. So this is the things that I like to keep and hold to my heart as I go on with my daily life. This is my family. My family is my core. This is what makes me do the things that I do, my why in life. My family on my left, that's my dad, my mom, my two sisters, and my little one, and my sister's future husband, the tall guy on the left. We all went to USC. These are my three sisters. We all went to USC at different decades because we are very far apart from each other, which is really interesting, but we all get along very well. And this picture is when we went to Hawaii. We did a little, like a triangle. Okay, so now a little bit about me. Now we're going to go into work. So the future is here, being an industry leader with First American Title. There's Ron that we've now added into our repertoire of title. So there's top 5 reasons why to use Ron. And what is Ron? It's remote online notarization. So the top 5 reasons why agents would like to use Ron is usually because of these 5. So it saves time. There's no, there's more convenient, vacation solutions, out of town clients, less stress. So all of these things are reasons why you'd want to use Ron. Actually, if you think about it, the cost of Ron is actually not that expensive. It's $15 per signature. Versus usually regular notaries are about $10 a signature. So it's not a huge difference in cost. I think even mobile notary might be a little bit more expensive. So these are all the different things that can save your transaction when you're using Ron with First American. So we do have a division of First American that does Ron. So in the event that Ron is needed, you would go through me or through the title officer and tell them, hey, I think we're going to have to use Ron because of such and such reasons, because it's an emergency. The guy's traveling, he's out of town. We can't get an appointment with the embassy. There's a lot of different reasons how Ron is going to be helpful for your transactions. So Ron was available to many California transactions as of January 1st, 2024, but a lot of people are still trying to incorporate it into their system. With Ron at First American, we also have a vetted group of third-party Ron notaries. So it's not only that we have Ron through First American division, but we also have ones that are outside and third-party vendors that are also approved. And so they go through a rigorous process to make sure that there isn't going to be much fraud involved when we're doing Rons through our transactions. So there's this bill that came out into effect that's just allowing California residents to be able to take to be able to use Ron, and eventually they're going to start opening it up to other notaries to be able to pass on Ron, as you can see, no later than January 1st, 2023. And there's the legislation link at the bottom if you need that for your reference. And if anybody needs any type of information on Ron, I have like a guidebook on Ron. I even have a Ron signer experience guidebook. So if their clients are going to be going through Ron, I actually have a guidebook that teaches them and shows them picture by picture, step by step, what to expect through Ron. So it makes it very simple, because I know that when it's a new program or a new system, a lot of people get nervous or they're worried that it's too difficult to go through, but it's actually very simple. There's another video that we have through First American that's like a 2-minute video on the signing of Ron. So if the clients are a little weary again, this is another system that we have through our video, webinar that we have for understanding Ron a little bit more. Oh my, okay. You have options. So there's 3 different types of notaries, right? There's Ron notary now, there's the mobile notary, and then there's in-office closings. So majority of people usually do the mobile notary and the in-office closings. That's the one that most people use. It's just because it's always been the easiest way to use. So mobile notary is the mobile notary drives to your house and they sign the documents. In office is like if you go to the escrow office and you sign there, and then now you have the remote online notary, which is through a computer. It's kind of like Zoom. And you go through a few questions, and then they ask you things that are KBA that's attached to your social or your TIN number. And it's information just to make sure that it's you that they're talking to verify you. And then you actually sign through it's through the internet. So you're not going to actually print it out and then print and then send it back. So it's actually, everything is done on your computer. So there's something else called RIN, which is where you download it, print it, sign it, send it back. And that's not actually approved. And there's a lot more fraud that goes with that than if we do everything remotely. So closing attendees, like if there's different parties at different states, like maybe one's in China, one's in Texas, and they're both buying or selling, you can also have 2 different Rons in different states or different countries. So they don't have to be next to each other, just like you normally would for a regular signing. So notary qualifications, convenience, eligible parties, and technology. So these are the things that are going to be incorporated into Ron, just like your mobile notary and in-office closings. So it just gives you a brief summary of which ones are part of it and which ones are not part of Ron. So this is just a really easy, quick way to understand when you'll actually need to facilitate Ron and what is part of it and what's not part of it. So as you can see, there's no travel required. There's no contract signed closings, and then you can look at which ones of mobile notary, which ones of in-office closings, and which ones Ron in corporate what. And I have these as PDFs. So Peter, if you'd like me to send you a copy of it, I can definitely send you a copy of it as well.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah, and then you could just distribute to everybody, and then they all have a copy of it. They have the Ron Signer Experience Guidebook. Then there's a Q&A booklet that we also have. It's like questions and answers. I don't know if you could see this, for attorneys and for agents. So it's like maybe, I think it's like 10 pages or so back and front about all the different questions that one might have for that result, that that go over Ron. And I could send it to you in PDF, and I could bring hard copies as well.
So not all the parties are eligible for Ron.
It
right?
depends. Most of them are, so we have to check which ones are eligible and which ones are not. So a lot of times they are, eligible. The ones that are not eligible is like the ones that don't have a TIN or don't have a social. They have no
Oh.
type of association to anything. That's when we have a hard time, finding out the questions that need to be asked to verify that person. I think that's the only time that we wouldn't be able to approve the Ron, or maybe there's a flag on their name, and that might also be a problem. But most of the time, it's 90% of the time, I would say they would be eligible.
Let's see.
Because I think the most important thing is having a social and a TIN. Without having a social and a TIN, then we won't be able to ask all the KBA questions to validate the person that's doing the notary. So then again, the identification requirements, a valid ID required, just so that they can have the KBA questions can be asked. And then now we're going to talk a little bit about wire fraud. Does anybody have any other questions on Ron? I know there's usually a lot of questions as to like, what about if they can't read English or they can't understand English when we're doing Ron? If they are a foreigner. Does anybody have any questions for me on Ron?
I have a question.
Yeah.
Peter, did you have a question? Sorry, I don't want to go ahead of you.
Amelia. You go first.
Oh, okay. This is Camelia. Okay, so
Hi.
I just had a question with Ron. So does the computer also take fingerprints of the person who is doing the,
I don't think they do the fingerprinting. They just ask a lot of questions to verify that person. That's a good question. I should ask my group about the fingerprinting, because I know in regular notary you have to fingerprint in the book. I don't know how they would do it in this instance, and that's why they have the KBAs to validate, but I'll find out for you.
It would be great, because then that way you can catch the fraudster, right?
Yeah,
Who isn't
yeah.
the person.
Yeah,
So-
yeah, exactly.
Okay, thank
So
you.
I'll find out about the fingerprinting. I haven't heard about anything to do with fingerprinting, so I'm assuming there's not going to be a fingerprint needed, but the KBA questions I think are supposed to take, is going to validate that person. But I'll double check, because I think it's still important to have a fingerprint, but I don't know if they don't have it. I want to know why too. So that's a good question. I'll find out for you.
I have a second
Hi,
question.
Angie. It's Rebecca, Angie.
Hi.
Is $15 per signature, or do we pay a monthly fee for it, or an
No,
annual
it's just
fee?
$15 a signature.
Okay, good. Okay,
Yeah,
thank you.
really inexpensive, because I think the regular notary is like $10 a signature, I believe.
No, nowadays the regular notary is 15 also.
Oh, 15? Okay. I don't do
Okay.
notary, so I can't legally do notary, so I wouldn't know the cost, but that's what I've been told. So I will now tell 15. So it's about the same thing.
Yeah, same thing.
Just more convenient.
Okay.
I got another question. This is Buddy.
Sure. Hi.
On those documents done by Ron, do the signatories get copies of those documents after being notarized?
Yeah, you'll get the copies of those too, because it's all done virtually. So we'll get a copy, and then I believe it gets dispersed to everybody else too.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
I have a
Anything?
question, Angie. It's Camelia.
Hi.
So if I put a fraud alert on my credit report, does First American check that, so that before any notarization is done, they check the, to see if I have a fraud alert and make me remove it so that I could then do the notarization? The reason I'm asking is because a lot of people are doing fraud on, people whose mortgages have been paid off, or on vacant land. So
There's a lot
I'm
of
just
that.
wondering, what can I do to protect myself?
On your property?
Yes.
Okay, so if you have a free and clear property, that's where a lot of fraud happens. What I've been thinking about this over and over again too for myself as well. So if you're all paid off in the loan, the best is to have a HELOC because even if you don't use a HELOC, what happens is if the fraudster wants to sell your property without you knowing, they still have to get clearance on the HELOC. So because they still have to have it closed. And it's not going to be as easy for them to do with title insurance involved because they're going to see that there's a HELOC and then you're going to have to ask to get it closed. So that's the only other way to make it harder for the fraudsters to take property from a free and clear property. There has been lots and lots of talks of different third-party companies that try to alleviate or try to fix the problem with fraud, but it's nonsense. It's all marketing scams. Where they're saying, oh, we're going to protect you from fraud on your property, blah, blah, blah. There's no such thing. There are other things that the county has been doing. I know I've mentioned this before, where you can sign up and then anything that, gets recorded on your property, it notifies you right away via email. And they mail you a piece of like the document that being recorded just so that you can verify it. First American, actually, we also send a letter to the homeowners notifying that, hey, there's, a such and such property going and, it's trying to go through a transaction, it's doing a refinance or it's trying to sell. We also send a letter from First American. It's been good and bad because sometimes when we send the letters to the homeowners, for whatever reason, they get freaked out and they're like, no, I'm not trying to sell the property, blah, blah, blah. So in a way, so it keeps everybody aware. So some of the homeowners that see it and they're not trying to sell the property, then they become aware of it. And then we become aware of it because the first person they call is us. And when we find out that they're not trying to sell the property, then we know it's fraud. And then the second option is when the other person, gets upset because we're sending this information, usually the agents get upset, then we know that maybe we should tread more, look at the documents more carefully because if they shouldn't usually get upset if they know that they're going through the transaction. So there's a few things that happen when we do send the letters. And sometimes, when agents open listing prelims with us, and maybe the seller hasn't quite decided, that also can cause some problems. But we're trying to be ahead of the game and trying to get everybody involved so that there isn't, fraud happening as prevalent. There's a few things that we're doing on the inside of First American to make sure that there's less fraud, because ultimately nobody wants to be part of fraud because there's going to be a lot more claims part of it. And obviously if there is fraud, then everybody kind of has to pay the price and have to go to litigation if there's fraud. Camille, did that answer? I know it's long-winded.
Well, I was wondering, so putting a fraud alert on my credit report will do nothing for if somebody is trying to do something in my name with related to property.
With related to property, that's not going to do anything. That's usually for credit cards and opening bank accounts, things like that, but not so for property. So the best thing for properties is if you're free and clear, then have a HELOC, add a HELOC to it. If you already have a loan, it's already an extra layer for them. It's going to make it much more difficult for them to take that property from you because they have to go through the bank and show verification and things.
Thank you.
Can I ask something?
Angie,
Michelle?
it seems to me that there are a lot of interest and questions on the RON and the fraud prevention. Maybe can we have you do a lunch and learn on these topics, and so that people have adequate time to ask you questions and yeah, would that
Not
be
a problem.
You can arrange that.
Yeah, I can arrange that. Who should I talk to for dates?
Michelle.
Oh, okay. Sounds good. I'll talk to Michelle. Okay.
Michelle?
Yes.
Michelle, can I ask something to your situation? I just did that. My mom owns a little condo, and I know that my sister lives with her. They're all elderly, and they've been scammed a few times by just sending, So I put a deed of trust on there. They owe me money. So I put a large deed of trust, just like Angie says, put a HELOC on it or something.
Yeah.
This way, they see that the property is not free and clear. They don't try to scam it. I just got a call this morning. A document was sent to me. This is a very expensive property in Pasadena, probably $3 million. Somebody put a $1 million lien on it, like a bail bond deed of trust. So the agent got a call. The agent gave me the document. I'm checking on it. I told them to go and to the police department first before they hire attorney, because that's not her signature. It's just going on crazy. Well, remember, Elvis Presley, the granddaughter, that was a scam. She was gonna
Wow.
lose the Graceland,
Yeah,
and they found out it was a scam. They put a big loan on there.
yeah.
They went to court and got a judgment. So there's a lot of people out there. Just be careful, especially elderly. Thank you. Sorry, Angie. I just want to add this interesting what
thank you.
happened today.
Yeah,
Thank
no
you.
problem. Okay, so now we're talking a little bit about wire fraud. So wire fraud, the things that we've done is that through Ignite RE, Peter, Ignite RE has a transaction portal. So through there, it's like a cloud where you can upload pertinent information, things that are more secure, personal information, and then it goes through our cloud and it goes through our transactions portal. So there is less likely for fraud to happen, because a lot of times too, when escrows are getting our wire instructions, et cetera, or going back and forth with wire instructions, what happens is before it even gets to escrow, it gets intercepted, or before it even gets to the buyer or the clients, it gets intercepted, and it looks exactly like that person, like a legitimate person sending that wire information, but it actually isn't. So that's why we've built in the transaction portal through Ignite RE. We have the phone calls, we have the phone numbers listed on our wire instructions so that people can make the calls just to make sure it's that person and the wire instructions are correct, the numbers. And then we also have a wire fraud video. So it's going to be launching through our portal periodically through the time of the file is created through First American. So as there are transactions through First American, there's going to be wire fraud videos that get sent out to remind people that, hey, please be diligent, please look out for wire fraud, and just match all the forms and numbers to make sure it's all accurate. And then lastly, one of the reasons why to use First American is because we are an industry leader. One of the reasons why we're industry leaders because of our numbers. We have a huge claim reserves of over $1 billion. I forget exactly the amount now because it fluctuates. Our claims are always paid on time. We have internal claim reserves, our legal team, everything is within the First American company. So it makes it a lot easier when there is a claim. And being an industry leader, we are able to advance in technologies, just like the RON system is now incorporated through First American, the transaction portal, Ignite RE, all these things. If we weren't an industry leader, we wouldn't be able to offer all these different types of resources to our clients. And not only that, but we're also protecting the client's interests, ultimately through our policies. And that's the most important thing, because ultimately title insurance, the most important thing is the insurance part of it, because if we're not insuring anything, we're just giving you prelims and property profiles, well, what's the point? I mean, we're here to do insurance, and we're here to insure the property to make sure that there isn't going to be any fraud or any different errors that we've missed that are supposed to be part of title on the insurance part. They're supposed to be vested, but somehow it got missed. Or if there's a trust or LLCs, that's where we come in to validate everything to make sure that there's no liens and judgments that transfer over. And we are the people that clean up the messes if there are any messes, and we clear the title, make sure it transfers exactly the way it should to the new buyers. That's Angie Tank with First American Title. Thank you. Peter, any
Thank you
questions?
very much, Angie.
You're
Yeah,
welcome.
there's a lot of questions for you, but I don't think we have too much time for question and answer
Okay, no
at
problem.
this time. But Angie has promised to host a lunch and learn on this topic, and I'm sure that we have a lot opportunity to ask her and later on. So we'll arrange that lunch and learn with you.
Sure.
Angie, appreciate that very much. Okay.
And Peter, I'll send you all the handouts.
Yeah, yes, I'll e-blast it to all the agents. Okay, with that, we'd like to move on to our company business. But before that, I would like to do some announcement, a couple of announcements. The first one is that our global luxury certification program is in full swing. I strongly recommend that people who want to get into the luxury the luxury, the real estate portion of your practice, try to get the certification. And right now they offer the online class, which is only about $595. And then after you complete the course, then you can have you have to do two a transaction within 2 years to be qualified and to be certified as a global luxury member of a CB global luxury. And it's a good deal. And in case you want to register, let me know. It's very easy. Just go to the CB desk and search for the global luxury, and then they will give you the detailed information on how to enroll in that certification program. The next announcement is that the semi-annual SIP form update is going to be is going to be rolled out in the middle of June, which is probably next week or two. There will be a lot of forms to be introduced this time, and I'm sure that there's a lot of information there. Some seems to be overwhelmed, but don't worry about it. Just like anything else, you take your time to dissect it, and you will find it easier to absorb. So there will be some classes. There's a class about the BRBC, a very detailed class, and it costs about $25, but I was told that it's much worth it. It's very detailed, in-depth look into the BRBC. But other than that, you also the CAR will also offer free classes on a lot of forms in the future. So I will keep you informed about all those free seminars, and so that you can have an opportunity to learn about those new forms. Okay, and then lastly, we have a receptionist who is very well versed in the Canva. As you know, what Canva is an app that can do a lot of graphics and very easily. So if you have some marketing material, you can use Canvas to do your own marketing, or do your own design and graphics. So she's going to teach a class. I think it's on July the 9th, 2024. She will have an in-depth training on that. So I think it's very useful for all the agents and I, myself, I'm not too familiar with the Canvas. I would be interested in learning as well. So that's a good opportunity for you to learn about Canvas. And I will keep you updated in the next month or so. But remember that, so just get yourself some time to learn about this program, very useful program. Okay, now with that, I would like to see if Doug is on the line. Let's see, where's Doug? Doug Meyer, are you here? Okay.
Hello, everybody.
Can you
How you
tell
doing?
us something? Business in Arcadia, please.
Well, man, we've got some great closings. I'll tell you that. I got somebody calling me from the Alhambra office. Must be Lee. Okay. We had a couple listings here. Harding Avenue in Monterey Park is a residential lease, $33.50 a month. Sharon Chow, and Covina on 20th Street, residential income $1,530,000. On Pasadena Avenue in Azusa, Amy Wang has residential commercial income for $1,198,000. And just this morning, we have a new lease come in on Norman Avenue in Arcadia, 4-bedroom, 2-bath, $4,500 a month. Michael Chan on that one there. We have made a couple sales here. Paul made a sale in Glendora for $1,820,000. Kathy Chu double-ended a lease in Arcadia on Genoa for $5,500 a month. Amy Wang sold a property on Magnolia for $1,100,000. That's tied into another property that's also over $1 million, and it's going to be closing, I think today, both of them. So that's good. Wow. And also, Liz Webb has got, she sold 27 acres in San Marcos, vacant land for $1 million even. So And then we had our $30 million home in San Marino close last week. We've got several multi-million-dollar homes closing this week. So the closings are good, Peter.
Wow,
We need to get more listings for future business, though. Working on the listings, you know.
Wonderful. Gee, that's a wonderful news.
Well, wonderful for this week, but the future is the listings, you guys. Go out and get listings.
Well, yeah, let's be positive, okay?
Yep,
Get
yep.
some, and it seems like that the luxury houses are selling it very, very well too. You know, like over $1 million, over $2 million houses.
Well, yeah, that's almost standard around here anymore. You
Yeah,
know? Yeah, and a
that's
lot of
all
those big
cash, right?
homes, a lot of those big homes being sold all cash.
Right.
It's amazing the people that have cash.
I
You
can't
guys
believe
make contacts and stay in contact with the people. Stay in touch. Your sphere of influence could be a gold mine. Any other marketing you do out there is great, but your sphere of influence is people that know, like, and trust you, hopefully. And as long as you remind them that you're in the real estate business, when they have a need or have a friend that has a need, they'll contact you. So please don't ever give up your sphere of influence. That's a gold mine.
Very good.
That's
Thank
it.
you so much. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank
All
you,
right,
guys.
Thank you. All right. As for Alhambra, we have 3 listing and 3 sales. The first listing is Nina Shi for 753,000 in the Monterey Park, and then Nina has been a lot of listing lately with condos, and she's selling the condos like hotcakes. So this is it's very good for Nina. Congratulations, Nina. And then Alex has a listing in Alhambra. It's a commercial lease for $2,600 a month. And also Karina Pang also has a lease for $1,600 per month for the commercial real estate in San Gabriel. So those are the 3 listings that we have for Alhambra, and we have 3 sales. The first is also Nina. Nina consummated the sale of in Monterey Park, 753,000 is a condo, and the next one is the Shimei Cam as a land in Monterey Park, sale for 1.545 million. And then Franco has a lease for the 3,500 a month in Almonte. So those are the 3 sales that in Alhambra. But we are seeing a lot of more activities recently too. There's a lot of deals on the pipeline. So things are looking good, or at least better. So let's keep on with a positive tone, and hope we will have a better half of the year. Okay, now with that, I would like to, I think it's almost running out of time, but I would like to share with you some of the market and legal update. So let's see. Now, a lot of people are talking about U.S. economy, and I'm sure that you're interested in how is it unraveling too. Is that we are seeing a lot of pessimistic news saying, well, we have a lot of bankruptcy going on, and the high tech people are laying off a lot of employees, and the fast food business are going out of business, and because of the high minimum wage and all that pessimistic news. But the fact, truth of the matter is that the economy is still doing okay. I mean, not totally good, but it's still okay. It's still on the positive territory, and also the retail sales for last month, although it's dipped down to 0.2%, but that's at least for the year to year is 2.7%. So the U.S. economy is not doing too badly. That's why the Fed chief Jerome Powell is saying that, hey, we're not seeing the things that the economists are saying, that they're seeing the stagnation as well as inflation. Powell is saying that, hey, I don't see either of them. Maybe it's because of the data didn't show that very definitely. But the economy is showing some sign of slowing. So that's kind of a little bit concerned, because usually the economy indicators lags behind the true picture. So in the next 2 months will be very critical whether we see the economy will keep on slowing down. And so you know that the core inflation in California has been down a little bit to 3.4%, but it's still not enough to satisfy the Fed. The Fed wants to put tame it down to 2%. I don't know why 2% is such a magic number, but that's what they are shooting for. So right now we are at 3.4%. There's still quite a bit of way to go. Hopefully, in the next couple of months, it will be better. But the job market really surprisingly, it shows a little bit rebound of the job market. It actually in the May it kind of surged up a little bit, and then also the wages are going up the 4.1% for the average hourly earnings, and 3.8% for the average weekly earnings. So in other words, the job market is showing pretty strongly. That's why the Fed is hesitating to lower the interest rate. What do you think that the Fed would do? And actually, they're having a meeting tomorrow and Wednesday. But most likely, the sentiment is that for June, there will be 99.4% that they're going to stay the same. And also for July, pretty much 91% that they're going to stay the same. So in other words, for June and July, there's no chance really to have the Fed to lower the interest rate. But that in September, it's coming to be a little bit different now. It's half and half almost, that the interest rate will stay, or that they will lower to 25 percentage point by September. So hopefully, before the end of the year, we would see some reduction in interest rate. May not be as much as what we anticipated during the beginning of the year, but at least there will be a couple of interest rate reduction of 25% at the end of the year. Now, that's why the mortgage rates climb up a little bit again last month, and it's kind of hovering at 7%, which is still far cry of what we want the interest rate to come down. We want to come down to at least 5% to 5%, so it'll be more manageable in mortgages. So. But it's not going to be happening in the very near future. So let's keep our fingers crossed. And another thing is about the house affordability is continue to be very low, the 17%, meaning that only 17% of the population can afford to buy an average house in California. That's kind of sad, because when I first came, everybody, almost 100% of the people will be able to afford a medium house in America, and the thing is changing very rapidly now. Now it's only 17%, so that is not good. And then you can see that as you kind of see from 1984 and all the way to 2020, 24 and 23, 24, it used to be that the average, the medium house versus the medium house income is like 1.5. but now it's like five times. In other words, it takes about 5 years of income in order to afford the average medium price house in California. That is not good at all, because it takes 5 years. And when I first graduated from school, at the time I only have to work 1 year to get the average house in California, and now it's 5 times. So I think things have changed quite a bit. And unless the interest rate goes down, there's no hope that this picture will change substantially. Well, let's keep our fingers crossed and hope that this picture will change a little bit in the near future. And then as you can see that the new loan versus existing the mortgage, the gap is 3.2%. In other words, we used to have an interest rate of 3%, but now it's 7%. So since the gap, the average gap is 3.2%. So that's a big gap between the new loan and the existing loan. That is why you have what we call the lock-in effect. People are not willing to give up the low interest rate and to go and buy a house with a much higher interest rate, right? I mean, if you are paying a home in a mortgage to about 3%, why this mine will go out and sell your house and buy a new home with the interest rate of 7%. So people kind of lock in this kind of mentality, and that's why it has a drastic effect on the home prices. Now the interest will dampen the houses a little bit, but the lock-in effect really prevent the price of a house from dropping down. So as a result, you have the rate, the total impact of the house as quite drastically. So as a result of the lock-in effect, there's 1.3 million houses sale that between lost, kind of lost. In other words, they was just sitting there, and people are not doing anything about that between the second quarter of 2022 and the fourth quarter of 2023. So you can see that that's why we don't have too many inventory. That's why our real estate agents are suffering from transactions, that they don't have too many transactions. And the commission depends on the transactions, right? If you don't have any transaction, you're not going to have a commission. And so that's why for 2023, a lot of realtors are suffering. They're really suffering because of this lock-in effect. And also another factor that affected the market is the difficulty in obtaining the insurance. As Keaton said, that there's a lot of carriers are leaving California, and 17% of the people have difficulty in obtaining insurance. And as a result, 7% of the deals in the escrow fell off escrow because of the inability to get the insurance. And the picture is not going to be pretty either, because the 72% of the people still think that the interest rate is still going up, and it's already gone up a lot already. And I don't know how it's going to affect the real estate market. So I just received renewals notice from my insurance for one of the commercial real estate in Monterey Park, and it increased 75%. And kind of when I saw the bill, I said, "Oh my God, how am I going to afford that if it goes on this way?" But that's what happened in the insurance market. Hopefully we have some relief, you know, and in the near future. Otherwise, the picture is not going to be very pretty. And so the insurance insurance premium is of course for California. There has a projected increase of 8% still. You know, it already increased quite a bit already. And then for the 2024, then the average of 8% at least for the increase. So that is substantial too. And so a lot of renters are still so trying to buy a house. They are willing to buy a house, but most of the time they you know, they don't know what to do because 39% of the people don't understand the home buying terminology. 41% lack of confidence in understanding interest rate, and 41% they don't understand how to finance or secure a mortgage, and 53% the people don't know how to about the home buying grant programs, because there are some program out there for the first home buyers that you can leverage, or you can make take advantage of, and they have some kind of plans. But most of the people, they are not aware of that. 53% they don't haven't they don't know anything about this grant program. So what you need is, you know, what they need is some kind of a trust advisors to advise them on what to do. And since you are the real estate agent, they'll come to you and ask for advice, you know. And so, you know, you'll be better prepared if you know about all these intricacies. So, you know, to learn about the interest rate impact, learn about the financial picture, learn about the economy, so that you can give your client some prudent advices. And so now, all right, now, look, lately, you know, when I attended these town, I mean the meeting, and there's a lot of talking about the open house guidelines. And you know, after the settlement of the NAR, there's a lot of changes. So a lot of people are wondering whether you can still hold an open house after the implementation of the NAR settlement. Of course, you still have an open house, but some of the procedure will change. But basically, you know, it's the same principle. And also, there's a question about can another agent in the same brokerage company as a listing agent hold an open house for the listing agent? The answer is yes. You know, but if you are employing somebody in a different brokerage, and then you have to look into the intricacy of liability for that agent. So you know, you talk about the E&O insurance coverage, and you have to be sure who are you representing, and what brokerage are you really working for. So this kind of things that you have to think twice before you employ another or get another agent from another brokerage to help you with the open house. Now, and when we are doing an open house, when somebody comes to you, your open house, what do you have to do? You know, well, it depends on the situation. Now, if you're bringing a buyer to come to the somebody else's open house, then you should have a written BRBC before you bring that buyer into the open house, because you want to establish before you bring them in, because the California actually the settlement agreement NAR requires you to have a written BRBC before you can represent the buyers in any transaction. So if you come in with that the buyer, you should have a BRBC. And if you don't, if the person that come in without any any brokerage representing broker representing them, then the listing broker should at least give him the open house visitors non-agency disclosure, and also put in sign the your sign-in form. This document is necessary because you clearly indicated that the listing agent does not represent the person coming into the open house, unless the person in the open house seek your representation for the listing the agent. In other words, when they come in and they tell you that they are not represented by any broker, and they want the listing broker to represent them, then the listing broker should have them sign what they call the limited property representation and broker compensation agreement, which is LPRBC. This form is necessary because you want to establish the relationship with the new person that's coming to the new to the open house. And this is a temporary the representation. It's only lasts less than 30 days, and it's a non-exclusive type of agreement. So if they want to seek the representation from the listing broker, this is the form that you use. But in case that the visitor refuses to sign anything, but instead only wants to look at the property, then it's advisable for the open house agent to refrain from providing any information about the property other than that's what is the information sheet to prepare for the listing agent. In other words, hey, whatever that is on the table, that's all the information that they provide to them. You don't talk to the visitor and give him more information other than what is available in the brochure. And this is important because if you talk too much and tell the visitor too much, and the visitor didn't have any agreement with you, then you can get in trouble of any misunderstanding that you're representing them, and they can come back and get you in trouble. So these are very important. I'm sure that they will have a lot more guidelines about this open house thing in the near future, and I will keep you posted. But this is the preliminary information that I will get it from the card. All right, with that, I would like to stop the sharing and then entertain any questions if you may have. And many questions? I know it's gone over time, but I'm sorry about that. So any questions? John?
No, I just wanted to say great meeting, Peter. A lot of good information, Angie and everybody, and wish you all the fathers a very happy Father's Day. And I'm here for you, and thank you again.
Okay, thank you, John. Thank you very much. And any more questions? If not, I would like to adjourn the meeting for everybody's sake. And I will have a nice week, and see you next week. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay,
Thank you.
bye-bye, Peter. Bye.
Bye.
Peter.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right, Angie, thank you.